Hello everybody, welcome back to another Gunpla review. Today we're taking a look at the SDCS Freedom Gundam. I'm one of those people who actually like a lot of the seed designs, so no complaints here from me. This looks pretty good. Also, we'll be taking a look at the cross silhouette that it is currently using rather than the standard SD frame that comes with the kit. I see how it is, Bandai. Make me pay for the equivalent of a small high grade to get an SD figure that has decent posability. Okay, I get it. But I digress. As always, let's start with the posability of the kit. Now you do have to keep in mind also that this is using the cross silhouette frame rather than the SD that comes with the armor of the kit. I was also going to show that off, but unfortunately right before the review I had to do a emergency neck transplant with the cross frame because come on now. Yeah, that happened. I don't know how that happened, but the piece that came with the cross frame broke. Thankfully, exact same mold on both, so just transferred over. But all you really need to know is that no elbows, no knees, and the hips are a ball socket on the leg into a ball on the leg into a socket attached to the hip. Also, the cross silhouette frame comes with a gym head. Anyway, let's get into this, and hopefully this piece doesn't break on me as well. Ball joint at the head, which does allow for rotation and slight pivot side to side. Of course, boy, that didn't sound good. No, that one's not broken. It's fine. It's just a very tight piece for some reason. Also, this, because of how the eyes work, kind of slides from side to side a bit, but it's not too big a deal. The shoulders actually have a pretty good range because of a sliding socket that comes in and out of the chest, as well as a ball joint there. Uses a ball joint for the upper arm, which allows for both the hinge outwards as well as the rotation at the bicep. You get about 90 degrees at the elbow, which is fine for an SD kit, and the fist is on a ball joint, which gives plenty of movement, more than enough. Not much with the torso. It is meant to be a swivel, however you can pop it out slightly since it's on a ball joint in order to get a faux ab crunch, though not a lot of friction there. I find if you just push it in all the way and use it as it's intended, it's fine. These are on ball joints, and also they can unfold into the rifles. Not sure how I feel about the double fold on them, but can't really see any other way they would have done it. Also, another thing, the beam saber handles are molded in here. Anyway, the hips are on ball joints, which come off a lot on mine anyway. There is a rotation at the thigh. There we go. About 90-degree knee bend, which is again fine for an SD kit. I kind of wish there was more forward movement at the ankle. Oh, also, this is on a ball joint, but because of how the ball joint is cut, at least you do get a very deep inwards pivot. And of course, with the backpack, it has a swivel, hinge, a rotation in here. These are on separate pieces. This is on a hinge. I mean, it's basically the same as the standard wings. Getting into the accessories, fairly standard loadout. It comes with a shield, which has a rotation so that it can be held basically however you need it to be, and a beam rifle, which can actually be stored, which is nice, by putting the tab that you can see into the divot here, just like that. It's nice when a kit has weapon storage. And while the beam saber hilts are molded into this, so you can never remove them unless you cut them off, it does actually come with beam sabers. However, it's all one piece. You do have to paint it. In fact, you don't even get stickers to wrap around it poorly. So I haven't even bothered cutting them off of the runners. Now, as from the sticker sheet, you can tell that I painted the kit. However, I didn't fully paint it, mostly because I couldn't be bothered, but also because, who cares? It's an SD kit. You're not going to see it from the back that much, and the amount of effort needed to make it look this good. Oh, wait, stop shaking. I mean, the knees are painted gray. That's painted. Yeah, more work than I'm willing to put in to an SD kit, and not to mention the. All right, it's on the back. It's supposed to be. These are supposed to be gray up here on the back, and the trim around the edge is supposed to be blue. Just nah, can't be bothered. Of course, I didn't even put the rear head camera sticker on, but you don't see the head from the back anyway, so it doesn't matter. Now, in order to attach any of the accessories, including the beam sabers, which I'm still not going to cut off the runners, just take the part, slide it into the hand. Super simple. Also, the cross silhouette function of the head is this piece. This side is just red plastic, and you put a sticker over it for the SD eyes, and the other side is actually color separated plastic, which is what you're supposed to use with the CS frame to give it this look. But the CS frame is still SD enough that I prefer it with the SD eyes. I just think this looks better overall. And as usual, here is the size comparison. Even with the cross silhouette frame, it is fairly on the small side, which kind of makes the overall 25 Canadian pesos price point a little bit high if you get the cross silhouette frame. So, final thoughts on the SD Freedom Gundam. I'm not entirely sure if I can recommend this kit. If you really like the Freedom design and you're a fan of the SD, I mean, you probably already have it. But it requires a lot of paint, and you, in my opinion, need to buy the cross silhouette frame because the standard SD frame that it comes with, very limited when it comes to posability. And really, the cross silhouette frame just gives you the bare minimum of posability even then. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this video with anybody you think would enjoy it. But that's all for today. Until next time, as always, happy building.